Previously on De La Plants. Good morning, we are officially back with the greenhouse vlogs. In this video, we are finishing the greenhouse. I'm so excited, we are so close to being done. I need to load up a sink. Yes, you heard me, a sink, because we replaced our kitchen sink and then we had this sink from our old kitchen sink and I was like, let's use that. Okay, so I want to walk you through everything that's been happening off camera because I did hire somebody to do a few things around the greenhouse, and I'm really glad that I did that because it just helped so much to have certain things done by somebody else who's a professional, and I didn't have to stress about finding time for me and Daniel to do it. Really big update is we now have a gutter system, so it flows down to here. I am planning on getting an extender to just extend this so that the water is, well, it is pretty downhill, so I don't foresee it pooling around the foundation here, but just to make sure that we don't like get a rut, because there's already a little bit of a hole like dug right here from the water just coming through, so I'm going to get an extender. But anyway, aside from that, we have a gutter system and it matches with the color that I chose here pretty well. It's not a perfect match, but it goes pretty well together. And as you can see, there are blocks in each of these rafter holes, which was a big concern for a lot of people. Like, what are you gonna do in those rafter holes? Well, the contractor that I hired did that. He also did a face piece right here to connect all of the ends of the rafters to make a great place for the gutters. So he also set up a water tank. It downspouts right into that. And I need to get a cover for this so that no animals fall in and die, and just to keep debris out and stuff like that, like a little filter. I'm just gonna get like a screen and probably just mount it onto here. I'm considering getting more of these because that filled up so fast, like lightning fast. It's rained a lot in the last couple of months, and I have 2 of these. These are 50 gallons. And so I have about 100 gallons of rainwater just chilling in there. This is the other drain spout. But yeah, same thing on this side with the gutters and the cover. He installed that 2x4 up here. I am going to be painting it the same color as the door, which is, I forgot what it's called, but it's a green color by Bear. And yesterday I was out here. I did not film putting this up, so I'll just show you this really quick. So that got put up. I did a few other really fun things with my friend Elizabeth, who came over to help me, who has been an incredible help on all of my home projects. So I'm going to insert that footage here. Time. Oh. Okay, here we go. This is the moment. I think we're in.
Is it in?
It looks like it for the most part. Does it look in over there?
It's like completely flush on this side. That looks beautiful.
Okay, then we're good. We freaking did it. We have ventilation.
I'm just saying, from our first few projects to now, we've improved.
We have.
Yeah.
that is the progress that we have up to this point. So the brake path is laid. There are some parts of this that I need to update. I am literally one brick short. One, count it, one. There is a little bit of a gap right here that I would like to fill. I went to Menards to see if there were any pavers that looked kind of similar to these bricks, which was a little bit, oh, I wouldn't say it was difficult, but it was just interesting because these are, if you missed my earlier video, these are, I guess, like vintage bricks, recycled vintage bricks. They were originally used on roads in Moberly, Missouri, which is a town just north of Columbia. And then their second life was a school. I don't know if they're even selling them anymore, and I just don't want to deal with it. So I just found one brick, which I think will be fine. And then I grabbed another brick to see if I could maybe use them as spacers, because you can see here there's another little gap, which I put a 2x4 in it. But I would prefer for it to be the brick because I just think it would look better. Another really big project that the contractor did is this. So this is like a whole system that he installed to hang this heater. And yeah, I think that it's pretty cool. But I do need to get a gas tank for it and like build the base for that. But I'm feeling a little bit intimidated by that. And I don't know how that's gonna go. The fan works amazingly. The only thing with the fan setup is it has this thermometer thing, the control basically, which will turn it on or off, and it doesn't work with this. It's not compatible with the plugs that I have, so I'm kind of considering just like taking off this front piece so that I can just plug it in. Otherwise, I'd have to get an extension cord, which I feel would be kind of annoying. When you plug it in, it just turns on and it's just on automatically. But with this, it kind of just controls things a little bit better. So I would really like to use this. I think that it wouldn't make sense to not use this. Okay, we are going to create my soil sink. Now that we have done all of the not fun tasks, it's time to do something fun. This is a drop-in sink, so basically I just need to cut a hole, put it in. That's it. Should be simple. Keyword being should be. I gotta decide where I want it, and once I figure that out, we're good. Now, I think that it would look best if I centered it from here to here. So let me do my measurements here because I can tell that is not centered. 110, which I think will be 55 inches. I just marked the center. Now, I know that the center of this sink is just right in the middle. So I just need to line that up with my line here. And I need to decide kind of how much space I want in front of it. Maybe about like right here. All right, we're gonna start there and see where we end up, if I need to make it bigger or smaller. So I need to support these pieces because they're kind of just flapping around. I took this one off. Daniel! You scared the shit out of me. Okay, as I was saying before I was interrupted, I've got this piece that I just took off the back that I can use. I'll just reuse this piece and put it right underneath to just support this side of the wood. It does have a support like right here, but because the sink is a little heavy and I don't want these to bow, I'm gonna put this in. Oh, battery died. Listen, it's been a while, and I've got no explanation for myself besides just saying, listen, it's been a while. Today we're going to attempt to paint this wall. I've brought out my paint sprayer, which is so intimidating, but it gets the job done so fast. So we're gonna see if we can set it up, do this whole thing. Did I mention that I'm painting this the same color as the front door? It's called Trailing Vine, it's by Bear. Let's do this. Paint spraying is an equally exhilarating and completely terrifying process. This thing can be so intimidating, but honestly, it's so easy to set up and use. So I'll link it down below if anybody is interested. But I do think that I got my settings a little bit wrong, or maybe I got them right, because this first section of paint went on pretty thick and very, very pigmented. And then when I had to, come back with a second gallon of paint because I inevitably used the entire gallon pretty quickly, the paint did not go on as thick and it was much lighter. And I did not notice this as I was painting. As you can see here, it just looks a little bit more diluted. Don't know what happened there, but I am gonna have to go back and do a second coat. I do also need to paint my rain barrels a darker color so that they don't get any algae in them. I think I might just paint them this green color just to keep everything uniform. If not that, then a really dark brown, but probably we'll use the green. I had one last ventilation fan to install, and this one is the input ventilation. So all I had to do was cut out the square just like we did with the other ventilation fan, which you can actually see going in the background here. This one was a lot easier to do by myself because it was just this little piece, was not heavy at all. I framed it out and actually used stained wood this time. I do have regrets for not staining the wood for the last one, but it's in the back of the building and hopefully no one will ever see it. Something that has helped incredibly in keeping the greenhouse cool is shade cloth, and I bought a 70% shade cloth that covers a majority of the roof. And the reason I did 70% is because this is a tropical greenhouse. I'm not trying to grow annuals or anything like that. A lot of what is left to do in the greenhouse is just touch-ups and like decorating, and touching up this paint was so great. I have been looking at these wood-filled holes for so long, almost a year, because this was something I was going to do before my baby came, and she came early and I wasn't able to do it, and then everything else took precedence. It really makes the greenhouse look so much more finished. I did not realize just how dreary these holes made it look. I also decided that I wanted to paint the framing for the heater, which I don't know if I regret that or not. Maybe I do, but it kind of makes it blend in a little bit better, especially because I wanted to put a rack around it so that I could hang up my garden tools and stuff like that. And I also wanted to cover up that electrical panel, which is just not the cutest thing in the world, and I didn't know exactly how I would do it, but you'll see the solution that I found. It's pretty good. For this little tool rack, I'm just using 2x6s that are left over from building the greenhouse roof. I had a lot of just random offcuts that I've kept, and I'm really glad that I did that because it would be so annoying to rebuy all of this wood that I need. A lot of the stuff that I'm putting in the greenhouse, actually everything that I'm putting in the greenhouse, I have already had and just been storing. Like this wood right here that I'm using to make pottery shelving situation. This is all just wood that I've kept, and I stained it. And I
actually was installing it before the stain was even dry, so I had stain all over my hands. I absolutely love the way that it looks filled with pottery. You'll see that soon. It was so easy to install these. I mean, I feel honestly like such a wizard with the drill and some wood. I really know my way around these tools. Which feels so funny to say. But yeah, I mean, something like this would have felt so intimidating a couple years ago, and I just cannot believe that I'm sitting here watching myself do that. Honestly, this is your sign to do something that feels scary or feels intimidating, because you're so much more capable of doing hard things than you think. Breaking things down one step at a time, honestly, just makes it so much easier to start, and I feel like starting is the hardest part. I knew that I wanted to have a little seating area in here, and this will be getting a little facelift soon, but it has just felt so good to put together everything in a pretty way. Like, we're doing the pretty things, we're doing the fun things, we're getting rid of all the trash. This is no longer a work site, this is a greenhouse, you know? And I feel like one of the things that really made it feel official was this wreath that I actually made maybe a year or two ago in preparation for putting it on the greenhouse. I really thought that the greenhouse would be done sooner when I made it. There's been a little bit of aging on the pots and the strings, so I had to redo a little bit of it. But this is something that I saw on Pinterest, and I actually did a little workshop with my patrons a couple of years ago, like I said, and we put this together. I have a bunch of faux succulents that I'm going to be arranging in this, but basically you're just tying on pots to a wreath, and that's it. It's so easy. It is officially moving day, you guys. We are moving some plants and decorations and items into the greenhouse. I am so beyond excited to be at this point. It has been a long time coming, many years coming, and I just want to give a brief thank you to everybody who has followed along on this journey. I'm so stoked to have this be finally done. I have collected just like a bunch of different plants. I'm also going to be bringing, as you can see, I have some big plants over here. Those are going to be going out there too. I don't exactly know how long it's going to take to get everything out there. Probably a really long time. But we're just going to start doing laps.
I'm hushing the dog on the chain. I'm lining up stones on the edge of the bank. Rally the troops for another refrain. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm buried beneath the sand. There's no way to speak or reach out my hand. Watching the paper slowly unfold, bracing for news that I can't bear to hold. While I'm singing this song to myself, I sing this softly to myself. Tore up my jeans on the fence. This iron road I cannot bend, but my walking is lighter when I walk with a friend. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm waking up early again, sitting alone and listening in. There is no separation from you in the end. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself.
Last on the agenda for sprucing up the greenhouse is my front landscaping, and it's kind of cute because it's like a little front yard for my greenhouse. I planted up these long planters, which I installed last year just as a fun thing to do. And hopefully I can keep up with watering these because, you know, these planters do need to be watered pretty often. I had an extra basket from what I usually use in my front yard, and I last minute went out to get these paver stones. They were like $1.50 each. I think they're so cute. I love the terracotta color. I think it complements just the terracotta vibe really well. And I just decided to use the mulch that I was going to put in the garden on this area to just put between the paver stones, and it actually is holding them together pretty well. Lighting is always a really important part of putting together a space. Outdoor space is included, so I grabbed these little walkway lights. I think they're so cute. I might go grab 2 more, but we'll see how much they light up. And yeah, I am just so excited with how this front area turned out. I think I might also get some edging to just hold all of this mulch in place. But with that, I think it's time that we take a little trip down memory lane to see where we started and how we got here to the very beautiful end.
Well, my friends, we've reached the end of the greenhouse building process. I'm like struggling to come up with words for how I feel in this moment because there were times when I truly thought this would never end. There were so many challenges, so many highs, so many lows. But I can look at this greenhouse and just truly feel so proud of what I've built, what we've built, what I have built with so many of my wonderful loved ones. My allergies are really kicking my butt right now. So I am gonna cut this short, but I do have more content planned around the greenhouse. There is still more to do, some patio furniture painting and just some more decorating and things like that. But for now, we're done. I also plan on doing like a formal Q&A answering all of the questions about this build. I'm probably going to put that question box over on Instagram. So if you're not following me over there, make sure to do that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and just being a part of this process. I can't say thank you enough. Just seriously, thank you. And yeah, let's enjoy this greenhouse now that it's actually done.